Hello everyone, thank you for joining me again today. Today I'm just going to give some tips to make the last 2 days of your cruise as easy as possible for disembarkment day. Now, these are suggestions. These are some of the things that I definitely do. And I suggest anything that involves gratuities or money selling your account, I strongly suggest these tips. Now, number one, I put the tip of settle your account earlier. Don't wait till the last day. I do it the day before disembarkment. I always settle my account before disembarkment. What I suggest also is review your account daily. Mistakes can happen. Things can be mistakenly put on your account. So review your account daily. Okay, so I'm going to set that as number one. Next, I would say to book your future cruises, you can get onboard credits. Your deposits can be lower, and also the cruise price can be a better price when you book it while you're on the cruise rather than later. Actually, you can do this anytime. You can do this on second day, third day, whatever. But if I was anyone who knows that they want to cruise again, book that cruise so you can get a better deal. The next one, I would say, if you're going to buy photos, make sure you get them before the last day. And in a previous video, I suggested that if you get a certain package, because if you don't, you may spend more. You may run across more and more photos, and people have spent $400-500 and more on photos. So my suggestion is to buy your photos before the last day, also to avoid the crowd. Next, I would say keep all your documents handy. Put them in your purse, your carry-on, in some compartment that you can readily get to very easily. Okay, let me rephrase that. Keep that in whatever carry-on, purse. Keep your documents so you can just get them very quickly, because you're going to have to go through customs, depending on what cruise you're taking. You're going to have to go through customs, so just keep it handy. Don't pack it away in your luggage. I wouldn't even put it in my backpack, because you're going to have to take your backpack off and kind of search through whatever. No, keep it. Some people have those little fanny bags or whatever, I forget what you call them, around your waist, or your purse or whatever. Keep your documents, your passport, your birth certificate, your driver's license. Keep that where you can get to it very easily. For people who park at the terminal, in their parking lot, take a picture of where you parked, and therefore when you get off, you can see what row, what aisle that your car is. So take a picture of the parking structure, and so you can identify, because at that point you'll have to carry your luggage. Sometimes you can, depends on whether it's availability. I've never done this, but I'm going to do it next time. Have the attendant, they have those little push cart deals, have them take your luggage and you can get your car and pull it around, and that'll be very easy. But to identify quickly where your car is parked, take a picture. Next, I would pack my items that I won't be using, put everything away except for the clothes that you're going to wear for disembarkment day. Pack everything. Make sure you check your cabin, under the bed, in the safe, and the drawers and the clothes to make sure you have not left anything behind. But to avoid leaving anything, just leave out the clothes you're going to wear and the things that you find, or whatever little small things. Go ahead and put it in your backpack or whatever, but or your carry-all. If you pack your luggage and you don't have any room, and that sounds familiar to a lot of us, we just don't have rooms, but you can pack those things in your carry-all. Now make sure if you bring the little extra outlets, because a lot of the cabins have only one, some have two of those little outlets. Make sure you check your outlets to make sure you don't leave an outlet. People that have interior rooms, a lot of people, including myself, bring little night lights. As long as they're not glass, you can bring them. They have a little night lights. Make sure you check and you don't leave that behind. So check the bathroom very carefully, whatever, for all your personal items, because those are things that are easily left behind. Next, you want to book your shuttles or your taxis or your Uber, your rent-a-car, whatever way you're going to travel back to the airport, or are you driving back home with the rent-a-car. Whatever you decide to do, make sure you book that information. Make sure you book that form of transportation. Excuse me. Okay, next, and these are not in any particular order, because some things that I'm mentioning I would do before this, or do before that. But decide whether you're going to take your luggage off, or whether you're going to use an attendant, or whether you're going to leave your luggage out, usually the night before. I would leave it out. Well, check with the guest services, or check to see when's a good time to leave it out. Most times is leave it out before you go to dinner, but just to be extra careful about the time, because you don't want to have intentions on leaving your luggage out so you can get it on disembarkment day, and you miss that time. Check with the ship to see, guest services, to see what's a good time. Make sure you have the appropriate luggage tags on your luggage, and see if you don't have luggage tags, see if you can go to guest services and see if they can print you out some, because things have changed. I carried my luggage off last time I shipped, and I regret that I did it, because it was a mess to try to handle. But see what the new procedures are on that. Whether whether you can print them out yourself before you even leave, or whether you can go to guest services for disembarkment to see what time they're going to pick it up. Some of the luggage tags could have the disembarkment for your muster station, or whatever procedure they use, but double check. Speaking of disembarkment, make sure you are on time for your disembarkment day. Most ships require you are out of the cabin by 8 o'clock, 8:30. You have to be out of that cabin, because they have to prepare for the next group that's coming on. You're getting off, and when you get off, they're preparing everything for the next group of people. You'll probably see a lot of people going off when you're going off the ship, when you're disembarking. the ship, you'll see the people who, this is their embarkment day. And I say embarkment, some people say embarkation. It's the same thing. Okay, last but not least, leave your gratuities the night before your disembarkment day. Now, gratuities are taken out depending on the ship, but depending on the cruise line, they're taken out either the first or second day, and they're charged to your room. However, some of the crew have really been instrumental in making you have the best time ever. They have done things, and they've been very what's the word I want to use? They have just been instrumental in fulfilling the things that you want. The cabin steward has just done a wonderful job in answering your questions and cleaning your room and all that they need to do, and some more. So if you're going to leave an additional tip in the envelope or whatever, make sure that you do it the night before. Put it on the dresser with the word tip or gratuity or whatever. Leave it on the mirror, by the mirror, and they will, if you leave it on your bed, I'm sure they'll see it, especially if they're looking for it. But they're going to make your bed, they're going to do things, and they may or may not see it, so it depends. So just to be on the safe side, just put it on the dresser, and lean it against the mirror, so to make sure that they get it. Or I can't see them missing the tip, but make it easy for them. Don't make them go on a treasure hunt to find that tip. Okay, so those are just some of the tips that make disembarkment day easier. Let me just stress one more thing. Review your account daily. If there's any mistakes, if there's any overcharging, you can catch it early instead of waiting till after your cruise and then wanting to call the cruise line and say you guys took this and whatever, because they're gonna look at you like, oh yeah, you got the service and you did, this is what you put to your room, but now you're trying to act like you didn't, trying to get a freebie on the sly. So instead of doing that, check your account daily. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you for joining me. I'll have more tips, more cruises, some train rides. I'm just trying to find some good deals and some vacations that I really want to go on to take my train. But I will be back with other tips, other meal menus, which restaurants I like, which I can only speak on one cruise, because when Royal Caribbean left, that's when I switched over to Carnival, because Royal Caribbean left for 10 years. So I can speak more a more educated information as far as Carnival. Now I'm going to be cruising Royal Caribbean, so I'll be able to review some things and see what have or have not changed for Royal Caribbean, and I'll bring you that information as well. Thank you for joining me. Have a blessed weekend, and I will depending on when I upload this, have a great week. I'll put it that way, a blessed week. See you till then.